My first son, who is 11 years old now, when he was a toddler, he had a very difficult time um, learning how to ride a bicycle. I bought him a bicycle when he was 5 years old, and I thought he was just gonna figure it out because I'd watched all the kids, just figured out how to ride a bicycle. So I bought him a bicycle at 5 years old, and the bicycle had some training wheels on it. So every day he's gonna go out, with the bicycle, with the training wheels, those are that two wheels on the side, and he's gonna ride it all around um, the neighborhood and come back home. A lot of his friends who were 5 years old were riding their bicycles, without training wheels. So I felt like he was gonna figure this out at some point and just, get those training wheels off and get going. But it was quite challenging for him. So after about 7, 8 months, almost a year, I saw him still riding the bicycle with those training wheels. And I'm like, man, you need to move to the next stage. You cannot still be riding a bicycle with training wheels, after about 8 months. You need to move on. You need to get these training wheels off and start riding this bicycle yourself. So I did something. I took the training wheels off, and he didn't touch that bicycle for about a week. I was like, okay, oh boy, I think I'm dealing with a little bigger issue here. So I said, okay, I'll commit myself to take him out each day to go teach him how to ride a bicycle. So I would take him out to a neighborhood next to ours here where there were no buildings there. They were still trying to build houses there. And so it was just basically the woods. So every day I try to teach him how to ride a bicycle. It was a nightmare of an experience between myself and him because he couldn't just, get it done. I'm going to have to hold the bicycle, hold the handle, hold the back of the seat, and try to have him ride, by himself, struggling to get him to be able to maintain the balance. Um, Tried that for so much. My frustration began to kick in, but I also saw some improvements on him. Then it got to a point when I was trying to figure out his balance a little bit. Um, he will ride the bicycle and I will be holding the back chair, the back seat. And he's riding, 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 riding. I'm holding the back seat. He's riding, riding, riding. Then at some point, he was doing a good job. At some point, then I would let go of the chair and he wouldn't even know that I've let go of the chair at the back. And he's just gonna be riding and he knows in his mind that daddy is holding the back seat and so he's good. But as soon as he discovered that I wasn't holding that back seat, he falls. Somewhere in his mind it just tells him, you cannot do this without you being held at the back, and he falls. So the training plateaued at that level. He stayed at that level for too long. And no matter how I tried, to train him, to get him past that level to ride the bicycle independently without me holding it, all the training tactics and all the skills I was giving him and say, hey, this is how you balance, this is how you do that, this is how you do that. None of that wasn't working. We stayed at that level of training for more than 2 weeks. I'm like, dude, you should figure this thing by now. Then I came to realize that I'm dealing with a different problem. I came to realize that the training, I'm trying to train his skill, but where the problem is coming from is his self-belief. He had not yet had the belief in himself that he could ride something that only have two tires without any support. He had not yet seen himself capable of riding a bicycle without support. All of his mind was clouded that if he tries to ride a bicycle without support, he was going to fall. So that self-belief in him had not clicked in. And I realized that if that self-belief in himself that he can ride a bicycle had not clicked in, I could spend 5 years trying to train him how to ride a bicycle, and he would never, ever be able to ride the bicycle. So I realized that I had to stop and go fix this self-belief issue then before we come back to the training to ride the bicycle. Like it's always said, right? It's easy to steer a moving vehicle. If you step into a vehicle that is parked and it's not moving, but the steering has been let loose, try to turn the steering. You see that it takes a lot of energy to turn that steering left or right. But when that vehicle is moving, and the faster the vehicle is moving, the easier it is for you to turn the vehicle left or right. It's easier. Think about you in a vehicle at 70 miles an hour. The least touch you give to that steering wheel, oh boy, it can lead to a catastrophic accident. So the training I was giving him was amounting to nothing because he did not believe in himself that he could do it. So I changed my approach. I would take him out to the field every day for us to go train on how to ride a bicycle. And I would take the first about 15 minutes having him recite something to himself. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can. So I take that back. It wasn't 15 minutes. We'll take about 5 minutes, was about 5 minutes. And I say, hey, O'Neill, say this to yourself. Say, repeat after me. I can do it. He will say, I can do it. When I say, I can do it, he says, I can do it. 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 So we'll do that for about 1 to 5 minutes before I get him on the bicycle. And after I get him on the bicycle for a while, I'll tell him to recite that again, and then we'll go back. Once I started that approach with him, it took 3 days, and this guy could independently ride the bicycle because his self-belief had clicked in. On the first day when I had him, say to yourself, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. He would say it crying. He would say it with tears coming from his eyes. It was like, Daddy, maybe this bicycle of a thing is just not my own. It's just one of those things that I cannot do. I said, no, you cannot say that to yourself. I said, you can do everything that you think you can do if you can believe that you can do it. I said, so just say it after me. He will say it. I can do it. I can do it. He will say it crying. But guess what? In 3 days after that approach, he was able to ride a bicycle all by himself. He took flight, and now he was able to ride by himself all around the neighborhoods, boldly with his friends. Now, in that situation, my son did not have self-belief, but his environment was healthy because I was with him and I believed in him. So he had to utilize the belief that I had in him to get him moving. He didn't believe in himself, but I believed in him. So I was passing positive energy to him and I was lighting up the belief in himself. And so I used my belief in him to lighten up self-belief in himself. And he was able to take flight with that. Now, what if you don't have a healthy community like this that believes in you? The Bible tells us about a young man called David and tells us about a big bully called Goliath. And the story tells us that this big bully called Goliath had been intimidating, has been oppressing, and has been beating down on the Israelites for so many years. And there was just nobody in the tribe of Israel who could stop this bully, who could stand up to him. And so Israel had been oppressed by this bully for a long time. Then this little, I don't know if I say he was short in stature, but he was nowhere close to the height of Goliath or close to the height of the other fighters in Israel. Little short guy, no muscles, just a regular guy. He stepped forward and said, hey, I can bring down this bully called Goliath. And he even looked down. The guy was so big and tall, and looks like was like 2 times his size. But when he looked at the guy, he didn't even call him a bully. I'm the one calling him a bully. He looked at the guy and said, "This uncircumcised Philistine." That means no matter, regardless of the fact that Goliath was tall in stature and big up there, David was looking at him down. And David believed that he could bring down this God. David talked to his brothers, say, "Hey, I want to go up and challenge this guy called Goliath." His brothers didn't believe him. His brother said, "Please, son, please, younger brother, don't do that. Don't bring death to the family. We don't have money to start pulling a funeral for you. Please, son, we love you. Don't go against this guy. He's going to kill you." David spoke to all the Israelites who were out there. Nobody believed him and said, bro, just sit quiet. David went to the king and said, "Hey, king, I can bring down this guy." The king didn't believe him. Gave his resume to the king and said, "Hey, king, I have the experience of a shepherd. I have the experience of a hunter. Every day I take my father's sheep out, into the bushes to have them eat grass. And I'll encounter bears and I'll encounter lions and I'm gonna kill them." And I'm sure the King Saul looked at David like, "So you want to take the resume of a hunter, the curriculum vitae of a hunter and a shepherd to go fight a wrestling match?" Of course, he had the wrong resume for the job. David had never fought a ring fight before. He had no experience fighting a ring fight. There were many other Israelites who were present on that day who have fought ring fights. They had the skill to fight a ring fight. They had a skill, they had been trained on how to fight somebody like Goliath. They had some techniques, they had some skill and know that, okay, if there's throw a punch like this is how you should go. This is how you should move. These are the steps you should take. There are people around the world who had all the techniques. David had none. The experience David had was the experience of a shepherd, was the experience to protect sheep. He didn't have the experience to protect the country. He didn't have military experience. He had experience protecting the sheep. He had experience on how to hunt, how to kill a lion, kill a bear. That's hunting. He definitely didn't have the skill for the fight. He definitely didn't have the skill for the job. But what David had was self-confidence. Yeah, we see a man with almost no skill, but who had a great self-belief about himself. Nobody believed in David except David. That's the difference between the David story and my son's story. In my son's situation, he was around a healthy environment. He had me. At least I believed in him, although he did not believe in himself. But in the case of David, it was the opposite. Nobody believed him. The only person who believed David was David. And I am not trying to discount skill. I'm not trying to say here that without skill you can do anything. No, that's not what I'm saying. For you to be an outstanding basketball player, you need to train your skill in basketball. For you to be a medical doctor, you need to go to school and study on how to be a medical doctor. So I am not trying to fan David's inexperience here, but I'm rather trying to point out how important it is for you to believe in yourself. David took self-belief and was able to win a fight without skill. David was able to use self-belief without a ring fight experience to win a ring fight. If self-belief could give David such a success without the skill necessary for the fight, then think about if you have self-belief and skill. Self-belief with little skill gave David a very big victory. But you're listening to me. You have skill. Think about if you're able to add self-belief to that skill. Think about what you could become. You see, most of the people we celebrate today are celebrities who are on magazines, the front pages of magazines. We see them on the lamplight. They are out there, on all the center stages. If you go look at these people and study them a little bit more, these are people with average skills, but they have a huge self-belief. The world is celebrating a lot of people with average skills, but they have a heavy self-belief. And that's what has put them on the lamplight. I wish I could tell you that between where you are right now and your dreams, hard work is not needed. Training is not needed. If I would tell you that, then I'm lying to you. But what I'm trying to tell you is that between where you are right now and that dream that you have, the first step is self-belief. If you do not have self-belief, every single thing is useless. If you have skill with no self-belief, you're worse. You are worse than somebody with no skill. Self-belief is the catalyzer. Self-belief is the jumpstart cable. Self-belief is what will take you out to the pitch to go start learning how to play football, to start improving your skill. Self-belief is what will wake you up at night to flip through your textbook to read. Self-belief is what will lead you to improving on your vocal skills, learning how to hit high notes, learning how to play around with your voice. It's because you believe in yourself first that you can be an outstanding singer. It's because you believe in yourself first that you can be a very outstanding basketball player. If you do not have self-belief, nothing else will fall into place. And like David, most of the times, many of us will find ourselves in situations where the people around us do not believe in us. They don't believe that we can do the things that we're doing. And we have believed in other people's belief about us. And that has kept us where we are to this time period. But I want to tell you something. You have to stop relying on people's belief about you. And you have to start believing about you. You know the skill you have. You can be a great singer. You can be the best in that thing you're thinking about. It doesn't matter if we all around you believe you. You need to believe in yourself. And I'll tell you one thing, because most of the people around you do not believe you. When you start believing in yourself and you take that first step, I would prepare your mind for this. Your community is not going to clap for you. Your friends will not clap for you. The people around you will not cheer you. They'll be watching you, and they'll be watching you to see you fail. They'll come out to watch some of your performances, not to cheer you up, but to identify your mistakes so it becomes the next talking topic when they meet among themselves. But you see, you have to still stand on your self-belief and keep moving on. After David, nobody believed David before he went before Goliath. But after he brought down Goliath, the entire Israel believed in him. They started putting him in more fights. So don't worry about the fact that people don't believe in you. When your results start to come on the table, they will believe in you. They will believe in you then. You have to move on. You don't need the validation of other people. You have to move on. Self-belief is a key. And when you start believing in yourself, it doesn't mean you're going to have outstanding performance on the very first shot. No. On your first few shots at the dream, your performance will be below average. Maybe your first performance might even be horrible. Yeah. The journey begins from there. It begins from being horrible to becoming average, to becoming above average, to becoming excellent, to becoming outstanding. Everybody has to go through that. But self-belief is what will take you from horrible to outstanding. Don't mind about the people that are out to criticize you, the people who are out to watch you fail, the people who are trying to talk you down into your shell. Don't mind about them. As a matter of fact, those people are there to help you, propel you to go faster to your dreams. Do you know some of your highest viewers of your posts on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on TikTok, on YouTube? Do you know some of your highest viewers are your critics? Are the people who don't believe in you? They check your Facebook post, your Facebook almost all the time. What's happening in Jane's life? What's happening in John's life? They check your Facebook post all the time. They check your Instagram page all the time. When they hear that you put a post up, they're not going there to see how beautiful it is. They're going there to see something to criticize. But guess what? Each time they're going there, they're giving you more views. They're giving you more views. In extreme situations, they might even take your presentation and publicly criticize you about it. But you know what? You have to understand something. That takes you even closer to your dream. Because by publicly discrediting you, they are pulling more attention to you. Their audience on social media will get to know that there is somebody like you. And so that will trigger them to go watch more of your performances, more of your presentations. And that's only increasing your views. That's only making you more popular. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. Others, you might still rely on other people's belief in you to get you into the ring. But what will keep you in the ring is your belief in yourself until the belief in yourself kicks in. You cannot maintain yourself there. Thank you for listening. If this was a blessing to you, if this helped you in one way or the other, I request that you can like and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.